And we're going. Hello, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Bedcast with a little something something extra. So it seems that my topic episodes are or at least I lead you in with the topic, seem to be the most popular ones. So I'm gonna dive back on into another topic or two today. Another topic though. I recently released my first I guess it would be an EP. It's not very long. It's about 21 or 2 minutes long. It's over on Bandcamp. Darth DARTH thepist.bandcamp.com. I'm gonna play a clip from it at the end. I think I was gonna do one at the beginning and one at the end, hopefully to get away from having to use copyrighted music. I really only have like 5 actual songs on it. One of them's kind of like an interlude, but I'll save that for the end and I'll pick which one I want to do. I think I'm just gonna dive on in to things. So this is gonna be episode 7. I should know because I've been doing them. Have I been keeping track of them? Not necessarily. I guess I can look that up though. Big news though, I am gonna be re-releasing episode 2. Episode 2 was gonna be about storytellers and basically their impact on our lives and I guess culture at large. That'll be coming out soon. Getting some weird static in my headphones. I don't know what that was about. Huh. Go ahead and just unplug that. Wow, I got really sidetracked. This is gonna be episode 7, yeah. Number 6 was my first more structured presentation style episode. But I might just let it flow. I don't know. If people wanted more like concise information about a certain topic instead of me just guessing or thinking about what I kind of know off the top of my head about it, then I can do something a little more concise. But if not, that's okay too. I don't really mind. But aside from all of my music related news, today's episode was going to be about remorse and philosophy. So buckle up. Actually, I guess this is where the intro music would be, but I'm gonna just go. So, I've been looking into my stats, and I realized that my first and third episodes, purpose and self-doubt are my most popular. And kind of going along those lines, I think that remorse and philosophy will fit into line pretty good. So for those unaware, I should Google just a definition of remorse and philosophy, I suppose. I mean, I think we all know, but to get at least a concise, like what Webster thinks it is. Remorse. It is a noun, in case anyone was wondering. It means deep regret or guilt for a wrong committed. And I think this is a more concise definition than a lot of people associate with the word today. It's to me, I've heard it and I felt that the remorse is something you could have done. You know, maybe not necessarily something wrong you did. This implies you. Okay, I guess deep regret or guilt. There's no comma to. Okay. So either deep regret in general or guilt for a wrong you committed. Okay, so I guess both cases are in there. I've always just felt that it could be you wish you had done something, say, instead of you feel bad for doing something bad, a wrong committed. I guess that would be the deep regret, the that dumb thing they invented, FOMO, fear of missing out. I mean, that's definitely a real thing. I hate that name for it. But it's definitely a part of life, really, and sort of cough away. It's not something that's gonna get you very far. Like, you never want to ignore your feelings, but something like remorse, if you're always looking to the past, then you can still look forward, but it's gonna be a little tricky, if that's like if you have a rear view mirror in front of you and you're only looking in the mirror, you can still see your windshield maybe, but you might be looking up by like the sun strip, and then if you crash into I don't know, anything that's parked in front of you, I guess that's it. So I mean that's kind of a bleak metaphor or analogy, not a figure of speech. I don't know what that would be classified as. Not a homily though. That's for episode 2 we recorded. But I mean, and it's important to look back on your past mistakes, but you want to use them to learn from, right? So if you're only looking to the past to think about what you did wrong, what you could have done, and this is bringing you down, then that's not good, because then it's going to slow down your forward progression through whatever it is you're going through. I realize that there's a lot of uncertainty in the air right now, and it'll be there for a little while. It's kind of I don't want to call it a transitionary period, but even without everything currently going on, every 4 years is a transitionary period potentially. So, at least in one country in the world, if not other countries, this is the start of a new decade. So there's that at least. The world is moving in a very, very, and at times chaotic direction, at times not, maybe. Maybe there's some control to the chaos, but so to some people it doesn't feel like that at all, and that's okay. There was a quote I recently heard from I think Robert Frost, and he said, I'm going to paraphrase it because I can't remember the actual wording at all. Basically, that poetry was man's way of slowing down time, or kind of taking a break from everything that's moving forward. So, if you want to look to the past, maybe to reminisce, right? Or look back on good things. Maybe you go back and rewatch your favorite movie, reread your favorite book, something like that. That's definitely positive, at least. But if you're looking to the past with remorse, that's just gonna slow you down. But I mean, you can do whatever you want, obviously. Everyone can. Unless you're in a pretty bad situation, but I'm not gonna go down that really dark road. It's not funny, but I don't want to dwell on the unfortunates. I want to kind of bring about some light, hopefully spread some positive energy and information. I don't know if I've talked about it enough. It's something that can haunt some people. Some people don't even have it, People who say they regret nothing, I don't know that I believe them. I feel like even to the most minute decision, oh, I wish I would have gotten this instead of that. That's still technically, at some level, but it doesn't affect them to the extent that some people's remorse can, cripple their lives, or they can't progress forward because of it, in one way, shape, or form. And that is unfortunate. But I don't think I have anything else right now to add to that topic. So I kind of want to transition into the philosophy side of the episode. This might be kind of a short one. I don't have a whole lot to say, I guess. I don't know. Because I did want to put out like a mini update and talk about my musical release. It's not really music though, so don't go in there thinking it's gonna be something that's not. It's very avant-garde and weird. But it's what I do. I don't know. It's still a hobby. And right now, this is a hobby. Will that change? Who knows? But you can only go up. What I've learned. You can only go forward. The march of time's arrow stops for no man. And then if we talk about time, in theory, it means nothing. But don't worry about that. But moving into philosophy, really got to get that out of my throat. But I'm just gonna keep doing that the entire time, and hopefully you guys want to bear with me as I pop and spike every now and again. But I watched that show, The Good Place. It's on a streaming service right now, one of the large two. They don't pay me, so I'm not gonna say their name, but their logo is red. You get the idea. And it's a really interesting show. I believe that they might have produced the last season entirely because it says a series, but I'm not sure. But anyways, The Good Place is, and I think I talked about this a little bit last time. A show about these people who die and go to the good place. Through twists and turns, we learn I don't know, a little bit, not a fair amount, but a little bit about like moral philosophy, and they kind of try to help you through a fun little journey about moral dilemmas and decision making and things like that. It's looking back, I don't know. I'm not the kind of person who guesses twists and turns. There may or may not be some of those. Looking back, I had no idea what I was in for. I thought it was just gonna be a fun show with Kristen Bell and Sam Malone from Cheers. I always forget his real name. Ted Danson, yeah. But basically the way that the show breaks it down, there's like two schools of thought that kind of are dueling against each other, and I think there's like technically three schools of moral philosophy in general, or at least three. No, there's got to be more than that, but I mean the three that they focus on are like Kant, and then I forget the there's one that starts with a D. Wow, I really fucked this up. And then a third one, but the one with the D, it almost looks like Deuteronomy, but it's a do something word. It's kind of a mixture of the two. I think, at least that's what I kind of read into it. But Kant versus I don't think it's Nietzsche, but somebody, basically it's either the intent of your actions or the outcome of your action that's most important, right? So there's obviously there's an infamous experiment or thought experiment where there's like a trolley car rolling or a train, and you have a switch in front of you. If you pull the switch, you can be diverted from the course you're on, the track you're on, but the course and okay, so I'll just explain that part first. the track you're on, there's like 5 people tied to it. I don't know. There's variations of it. So you're gonna plow into these people, right? But if you pull the lever or the switch, you're gonna go to another track where there's only one person. So, you can change this in any number of ways, but the one school of thought is that the intent of your action is what matters the most, and that determines whether it's good or bad. I don't know what the actual words that he would use to describe, the, I guess, light or dark side of this choice. And then the other school of thought is, well, if you kill someone, that's bad no matter what. So in that school of thought, you lose in this scenario no matter what, in theory, right? And on the show, they kind of have a fun go at that. And actually, Chidi, the moral philosophy professor, has a panic attack because he literally can't make a decision, because I want to say he follows that school of thought where it doesn't, oh god, the word I just used, your intent doesn't matter, it's only the outcome of your actions. Wow, I think I got it that time. Drink some water. Okay, I think that's a little better. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay, and it's back instantly. No, it's all good. So in that instance, you lose the problem because, whatever you do, you're gonna be killing somebody. And the show kind of, through its twists and turns, shows that people can be very complex creatures, right? There is no definitive just good or bad, because life is so gray. And in some instances, it can be pretty black and white, sometimes, but it's really hard to blanket say, do the blanket statement that this is inherently good or bad, etc. This person is good or bad, things like that. And then in the end of the show, I think that they express that pretty well. But in that problem there that they laid out, the trolley problem, let's say, you changed the one person to somebody, right? Then you'd be more inclined, even though it's more people dying, to not put your friend or person through that danger, even though the greater loss of life is still occurring, right? Because we're more inclined to feel the empathy towards people we know, obviously, than strangers, unless it's someone that we don't like. And then that again, if you only pull the lever to kill that person because you don't like them, technically that could be, bad in that case, because that's out of spite. So I mean, every single thing about moral philosophy is very messy, and that's kind of what the show also tries to put out too, because one of the main characters, Chidi, he has a like 3,500 page dissertation on moral philosophy for his, I think, doctoral research. I'm not sure. And basically, his professor is like freaking the fuck out because he comes into his office Chidi comes in and he tells him that literally on one page you said, but on the other hand, the opposite could be true. And I lost my shit at that joke because, there's the two schools of thought. There's multiple different ways of looking at different things, and really both can be true in a lot of different situations. And it's a very difficult thing to say something is this for certain in that field, right? Because of just so many different factors. You could say this guy's a murderer, but he killed someone who broke into his house. That guy broke into the house to arrest a man hiding in their basement, that guy hiding in the, you could just go back and forth, and you could be like, well, nobody's right in that situation. It's just a fucked up situation, and you'd be right, and there's, legally there's a right and wrong, but it just depends on a lot of different things when you talk about morally or ethically, even, because it's a very, it's obviously a very subjective field. But my thing is, you want to, like, I've heard and I've watched a lot of people say that one of the better ways to go through life, I don't want to preach and, say that this is the way to go through life, but one of the more positive ways to go through life, I guess, is to leave it either in a better place than you came into it or were thrown into it, as make it a better place, make it a better place than in which you were thrown into it. That's kind of thronism, like we're just thrust out of the void into existence. We didn't ask to be born. That kind of philosophy. Um, or spread about a change, or start about a change that you wish to see in the world. Now that philosophy itself can be positive or negative, because maybe you want more chaos in the world or universe, and so you set about bringing chaos to it. But if you're a Taoist, then obviously you think that there's got to be a balance in the universe, and even other Western religions, there's a good place and a bad place, and that's, going back to the show, even it's the good place, but they obviously talk about the bad place a good amount. I'm not going to give anything away about either place, but it's a really, 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 really good show in my opinion, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. If not, just if you, like, maybe you wanted to learn about philosophy, but you're not really a book person. You're more of a watching videos and shows and streaming kind of person. I mean, it'll give you a very basic crash course, very, very oversimplified crash course on philosophy that maybe will spark your interest in learning more about it. Who knows? But yeah. I lost that train of thought before I talked about how good the good place is. Oh, sorry, but the chaos. Yeah, so if you want to spread chaos to the world, that's your prerogative. That's how you want to live. Fine. At least you're doing something about it, I guess. That's kind of a funny way to promote anarchy and chaos. Not necessarily destruction, just chaos. But yeah, so that's the only flaw with that philosophy. But if you spread about or set about spreading positivity, love, good vibes and hangs and chills and whatever you want to call it else, into the world and propagating that, I think that a lot more of that good energy will find you, or find its way to you through what you're doing, or at least you'll help infect somebody else with it, because the more, like, we don't need more negativity. We can all propagate that easy. It's so much easier to propagate negativity, negative thoughts about yourself, others, the world, whatever. I do it too. And I don't think it's something we can stop. Sometimes we have bad days. Sometimes shit piles up. It piles up. It piles up. It piles up. And there's nothing we can do about that. But we can at least control our thoughts and emotions to an extent. Some people have a harder time than others because it's out of their hands. But we can all at least try to look at the bright side and shed some positivity from the negativity. Shine a little light into the darkness, I guess. And that's a pretty good way to, go about your dailies, Even go out of your way, but, I guess you don't, you don't have to, obviously. Go out of your way to do something nice for somebody else if you want. If you don't, just do nice things when you can. If you don't want to do nice things, be nice. Spread the kindness. Just don't spread the negativity and hate, I guess. If you want to, if that's your way of being the change, just don't be negative. You can still be a neutral force. You can never be truly neutral. Even Switzerland takes a stance on certain issues. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, after that nice little interlude break, yeah, that's about a wrap, I think, maybe. That's about half an hour. I don't know what my average time for these are. I've been keeping them half an hour to an hour, maybe. 34, 55, 51, 35. Okay, so the ones where I really talk about, something like this, a topic, are kind of shorter, and the ones where I freeform and just kind of bullshit seem to be longer. I don't know if that's a good format, if that's the preferred format, because I could probably talk about this longer, but not right now is the issue, So if I gotta come back to a certain topic and cover it more, maybe I'll do that in the future, a philosophy or remorse part 2. Because I definitely think that these are both topics that we could come back to at a later date, because, they're not something that is gonna go away by any means or sorts. But yeah, so watch for episode 2, Storytellers. It's a re-upload. I'm actually re-recording it. This is gonna be released, I think, yeah, I don't know when. Maybe this weekend. The weekend of the 17th of October. I think that's... Is that going to do the weekend? Is it the Saturday or the Friday? The Sunday? Because it feels kind of silly to say that it's at the weekend of like October 18th, when October 18th is the last day of the weekend. So I don't know if you do Friday or Saturday or what, but that's okay. I guess I could do it my way and just say, all right, the weekend of Saturday, this Saturday, blank day is how I'm gonna say the weekend of. And then if somebody corrects me, I'll be like, okay, I'll try to remember that for you, and then keep doing it my way to everybody else until somebody else corrects me. And then I'll just have to keep track in my head of how to say what to whom. That doesn't sound exhausting at all. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, I do have social media platforms. I'm gonna have to plug those at the end. I have an Instagram page and a Twitter page. I think it's just at some SUM Bedcast for both Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, there's a longer one, something Bedcast, with the full name. If you want to type in all that, fine, but I realized that some Bedcast was free as well, so I got both of them. I could have just done Bedcast, but actually I don't know if that was available. I didn't even try. So just, at some Bedcast, Twitter, Instagram, email me something bedcast@gmail.com. I might make a Google Voice number to get harassing messages on. Maybe not. I don't know. I really wouldn't think that right away I'd get harassing messages, but maybe, the internet's both a wonderful and not wonderful place. It's kind of like life, everything has its ups and downs. So I'm I'm kind of in line to agree with the Taoists that there's a lot of, we need both in life. We need the ups and downs. The downs to help us appreciate the ups to enjoy, and to remind us that the bad times don't always stick around. Yeah, so that's pretty fun. I hope this doesn't play. Hope this doesn't play. Oh, good, it didn't. All right. Yay. I should have had that set up earlier, and I was gonna, but then I started talking, and I was on a little bit of a roll there. Wow, sorry, I just clipped that a lot. I was on a little bit of a roll, and it got going, popped off a little bit. So yeah, follow me, email me if you got questions, if you want to suggest any future topics, or got questions about a topic. Maybe I don't answer something good enough. Well enough. I don't know. Email me if you want, or don't. But my stats show that I get more audio listeners than video, and that's fine. I'm on YouTube as well, but there's no real video, so I kind of get it. There's not a huge point. And to me, if I don't have YouTube Premium because I don't want to pay like what is that, like $15 a month for that. Whereas Spotify Premium is only. They don't pay me either. Why am I giving them a shout out? But whatever. My cast is on the Bedcast, my Bedcast, the cast, whatever, is on like 7 or 8 platforms, all off of Anchor. If Anchor pays me after I do their little ad, maybe one day, then maybe I'll shout them out. But they did that all for me, and I'm not paying them, so actually I'll give them a shout out. Go to anchor.fm/ I don't know. I think it's Darth_Neiman to find this cast. I don't know. But I don't think I have anything else on the topics. Moral philosophy is very confusing and kind of ugly, and the joke on the show was that everyone hates them because they can't do anything one way or another because everything has unintended consequences. Life is weird. Don't look at the past and let it drag you down. Look forward with a positive light, and you shall receive positive light in return. Go to bandcamp.com. Darth the Pissed. Look it up. The Basement Tapes is the name of the EP. I'm going to play the second to last song. It's called The Perfect Monster. Most of this is taken from the movie Young Frankenstein. So, thanks for listening. I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Sometimes I'm afraid of the lightning.
Frau Blucher. My grandfather's work was doo-doo! I am not interested in death. The only thing that concerns me is the preservation of life.
Hello. Would you like to have a roll in the hay?
Put the candle back.
It's fun.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Werewolf?
There.
What?
There, wolf. There, castle.
Frankenstein.
You're putting me on.
No,
pronounced Frankenstein.
Do you also say Froderick?
No. Frederick.
Well, why isn't it Froderick Frankenstein?
It isn't. It's Frederick Frankenstein.
Throw the first switch!
You've got it, Master.
Get ready! Get set!
You must be Igor.
No, it's pronounced Igor.
But they told me it was Igor.
Well, they were wrong then, weren't they?
Go!
You were sent by Herr Falkstein, weren't you?
Yes. My grandfather used to work for your grandfather.
Throw the second switch!
How nice.
Of course, the rates have gone up.
Of course. Of course. I'm sure we'll get along splendidly.
Throw the third switch!
Not the third switch.
Throw it, I say! Throw it!
Oh. Sorry. I don't mean to embarrass you, but I'm a rather brilliant surgeon. Perhaps I could help you with that hump.
Life!
What hump?
Life, do you hear me? Give my creation life! Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
You would have an enormous Schwanzstücke.
Oh, Mama!
Stand back.
I am the monster!
Yeah, I see that you are the monster.
For as long as I can remember, people have hated me. They looked at my face and my body, and they ran away in horror. In my loneliness, I decided that if I could not inspire love, which was my deepest hope, I would instead cause fear. Because this poor, half-crazed genius has given me life. He alone held an image of me as something beautiful. And then, when it would have been easy enough to stay out of danger, he used his own body as a guinea pig to give me a calmer brain and a somewhat more sophisticated way of expressing myself.
Class is dismissed.
Wait! Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
And that's going to do it. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, subscribe, follow me, do whatever stuff so you get notified when I post more stuff. Bye.